Welcome to my channel. This is Dark Desires. Here I will be sharing with you some of the deepest, darkest, and most terrifying desires that drives us to do the unthinkable. Please like and subscribe, and let's dive in. I call this story The Dark Desires Unleashed. I've always been captivated by the darker side of human nature, drawn to the shadowed recesses of the mind where our most forbidden desires lurk. As an aspiring writer, I found solace in exploring the macabre and the twisted, seeking inspiration from the fringes of society. Little did I know that my fascination would consume me, turning my harmless curiosities into uncontrollable obsessions. It began innocently enough, with research for my latest novel. I delved into the depths of human depravity, studying cases of deranged criminals and unraveling their motivations. Each tale I unearthed only fueled the fire within me, pushing me further into the abyss of my own desires. Late one evening, as the moon cast an eerie glow through my study window, I stumbled upon a forgotten book tucked away on a dusty shelf. Its cover was worn, the title barely visible, but its contents promised secrets that few had dared to uncover. Intrigued, I opened the tome, and the words within spoke directly to the dark corners of my soul. The book whispered forbidden knowledge, tempting me with the promise of unlocking the true power of desire. With trembling hands, I followed its instructions, performing a ritual that would awaken something primal within me. The room grew colder, the air thick with anticipation as I chanted ancient incantations. At first, the changes were subtle. My dreams became plagued with haunting visions, nightmares that clawed at the edges of my sanity. But it was in the waking world that the true horror unfolded. My desires, once hidden in the recesses of my mind, now took on a life of their own, demanding satisfaction at any cost. I found myself drawn to the darkest corners of society, seeking out those who shared my twisted inclinations. Together we danced on the edge of madness, indulging our cravings with a reckless abandon. It was exhilarating and terrifying all at once, a deadly game that blurred the lines between pleasure and pain. But as the nights wore on, my newfound power began to consume me. The boundaries of morality dissolved, and the thrill of the hunt turned into a desperate hunger. I lost track of the lives I destroyed, the innocent souls caught in the crosshairs of my insatiable appetites. No longer able to control the darkness within, I spiraled into a maelstrom of violence and madness. The once subtle whispers in my mind became cacophonous screams, drowning out reason and empathy. I became a slave to my own desires, a monster with no regard for the lives I destroyed. Now, as I sit here in the depths of my own depravity, I realize the true horror of what I have become. The twisted desires that once fascinated me have transformed into a nightmare from which there is no awakening. I am a vessel of darkness, forever haunted by the consequences of my actions. My warning to those who dare to tread where I've gone astray is simple. Be cautious of the dark desires that dwell within. They may seduce you with promises of power and pleasure, but in the end, they will consume you, leaving behind nothing but a shell of the person you once were. So heed my tale as a cautionary one. Resist the temptation to explore the depths of your darkest desires, for once unleashed, they may never be controlled again. And in the eternal darkness that follows, you will find no solace, only the suffocating weight of regret and the never-ending horror of your own creation.